Glad to be okay. It just feels like such a waste to do all this and run a couple laps and finish last. So pretty unfortunate. Hate for the guys and the team. Just got to tire everybody.
That's Austin Cindric. We'll get a word with Kyle Busch, who was also a part of that heavy wreck. He has been released from the care center. Kyle, what happened there? Can you tell us?
I just was trying to bide my time and knew we weren't going to necessarily need to be in a hurry there to get points for the end of that stage. It was going to be a 40-lap run, and it was going to be plenty of time to get up there with our car. We had a really fast interstate battery scan rim, and it was looking really good for the day, and obviously not a good result. So just got squeezed between the 10 spinning and myself and the fence. So just don't get it, man. Just can't buy a break right now.
What's the level of frustration? You said you can't buy a break. You had a car that you thought you could win.
1 out of 10, infinity.
That is Kyle Busch. You heard the frustration there. This will be a string of 8 finishes outside the top 10 for the driver of the number 18.
And that's it. I mean, he's been on a run here where he's not had any top 10 finishes the longest of his career, but he's had fast cars. I mean, he's been running well at a lot of these races and nothing to show for it.
Nice.
14 to go, 13 to go now. We're back underway. An all-important playoff point for that 20, that 11. They're going to be racing hard here trying to win this stage.
See Bell with that big run on the outside.
And that's something to pay attention to as we see this car go to new racetracks. How does the line change as far as what line do you want to be in for the restarts? The outside, the inside? A lot of guys have been taking notes of what cars kind of dominate off into turn 1 through turn 2. Traditionally, this has been a track where you want to line up on the outside. That inside line gets real bottled up off of turn 2, as it continues to do today. Joe Logano slots right in there in front of the 14 car. Chase Briscoe down the front straightaway. Joey pitted, did not get tires. I didn't think that was a great move, but made up some good track position here. Truex Jr. to the outside of the 17, off turn 2, trying to fake a pass on Chris Buescher. Steve, you said this 19 car was going to be hard to beat today. It's just, he's been so close. Toyotas are so fast. We just knew there was going to be some question mark, right? It wasn't going to be straightforward, and that veteran savvy I thought was going to pay off for Truex.
Well, the speed he has in his car also, just to be able to roll up on the outside and push her like that. It's just a power move.
Marty, what you got on this 19?
Well, Junior, talking to James Small this morning, he said that competition caution lap 20 was a gift. He said all of us, especially the Toyotas, very tight in making it on stage 1 all the way to the end. You add in all those extra caution laps before it even went green. So Steve, he said it was a no-brainer. They were going to stay out, keep all that track position. So far, he's able to hang on to it, sitting there in 5th. Parker?
And Marty, for his teammate Christopher Bell in the 20 car currently leading, it was a gift as well to get this track position. He'd fallen a little bit back at the start of this race, but this team is looking, as you mentioned, Steve, for those bonus points. They want that playoff point for winning the stage, and they want those points because he's in a position where he could catch Kyle Larson in front of him to get into the top 5 of the regular season points, and maybe all the way up to 4th and catch his teammate Martin Truex Jr. So this team over the next 4 races told me they are focused on getting those bonus points. He might be able to get that here in stage 1.
Right here on the inside of William Bauer down into turn 3. William working in that outside line. He's going to give up the position. Truex drifting up the racetrack. Bauer will have a little bit of a run here, but not much to do with it. Down the front straightaway, he's going to push this 19 car.
Really just wasn't anything William Byron could do right there. Truex's car obviously is much faster. See how much quicker it rolls to the center of the corner? That's why the Toyotas were so much better in practice. Able to just carry speed. So this guy, Eric Jones, Michigan native, hoping for something big today. Kel, what do you have on him?
Well, I talked to crew chief Dave Ellens this morning, and I said, kind of, what is the playoff picture for you guys? You sit outside right now. There's 4 races left. A lot of people would peg you guys as Daytona being the one you circled. He said, surprisingly, it is actually Michigan is our first circled race on ones we think we can win before the playoffs. He said Daytona was a close second, but they felt really confident about their speed here after the speed they showed a couple weeks at Pocono. Currently, Eric Jones in the 3rd position.
Well, Power Moves are brought to you by the Propane Education and Research Council, and it's been a power move by Ross Chastain. Hit it from the 14th position, restarted 19th, got a little break, not getting caught up in any of that calamity. Now he's taking these 4 fresh tires and driven back up to 7th. Here he is right here. You want to talk about sometimes it's just going to be a little bit fortunate. It is stacked up 3 wide and 2 wide. The 12 is right on his door. Look at this move right here. He squeezes. I was thankful the 42 knew he was there because I didn't know if there was room between the 42 and the 41. But Chastain, as he has done time and time again, kind of bulldogs his way through there and continues to run. And that mentality right there, instead of pushing the 8, a lot of guys would have pushed the 8 car. He goes around him. He gets around. He says, well, I'm not going to push this guy. I'm going to take this run and do something with it. Parker.
Remember his conversation with myself earlier today when during the rain delay, he said, look, I'm taking low percentage moves because that's how you pass. So I asked him, how are you making these passes all the time and getting all these positions when they don't qualify that well? When everyone says it so hard, he says, I just go for those low percentage moves that, ruffle some feathers, it might anger some people, but that is how you make passes in this car. You saw it right there. He didn't start this race. He was up 7 positions in the first 5 laps of this race. Ross Chastain is using those low percentage moves, putting that car in a position where the other drivers have to decide whether there's going to be contact or he gets position. And so far, it's going his way.
Statistically, there's nobody better at restarts in the sport right now than Ross Chastain. As he looks to the outside, trying to get a run around Christopher Buescher. He's going to take that run, possibly to the inside here. Draft up, actually push Christopher away down the front straightaway as they try to close in on William Byron. A big run up on the 24 car here.
A lot of cool things in NASCAR right now. I'm telling you, when LeBron James tweets good luck in the race to Chris Buescher, as a part of that car, his foundation, supporting the 17 car this weekend, I thought that was pretty cool. Look at this. Like it. I mean, LeBron James, you talk about Michael Jordan being in the sport as an owner, but who, current athletes worldwide, LeBron James is going to be, single digit, top 5, maybe most recognizable. I think he's wishing Chris Buescher luck, hopefully tuning in and watching. It's great to see.
Ross running that high line and getting some great momentum down the straightaway again with the run on the 17. Again, going to push him. He should be in position to strike on the 24 here at the end of the straightaway. There he goes to the inside, Christopher Buescher on William Byron. William now, though, has that high line, the preferred groove.
Chris doesn't make this work. He can actually lose a spot right here. This is one of the dangers of trying to make passes in Michigan. You got to go for it, but he was smart. He knew he couldn't get the pass done, so he rolled in behind the 24 rather than allowing Chastain to get on the outside of him, Marty.
King James feeling happy, almost up there in the 5th spot for Chris Buescher, sitting in 6th right now, trying to hold off Ross Chastain with those 4 fresh tires as well. Chris Buescher earlier this week, a lot of people felt like they would be good at the road course and they would be good at Daytona. And Downing's going to go get that 5th spot. Nice move by Buescher to go get that. He said, actually, I feel good at every racetrack. He said, Richmond may be a tough one for us, but I feel like Michigan, we can get up there and get a win. I feel like Watkins Glen will be good, and Daytona. And he's showing that speed right now, Jeff, up there in the 5th spot.
Yeah, tons of confidence from his car owner, Brad Keselowski. Chris Buescher doing a good job all year long.
How about that draft? It was like turbo.
Yeah.
It was like turbo on the NASCAR game X button. I mean, that was unreal.
That was impressive what Chastain was doing to sort of create that battle between Byron and Buescher. Now Chastain trying to break away and get away from the side draft. Down the front straightaway, can he clear the 24 car off into turn 1? Byron fighting on that outside line, going to be able to stay out there through turns 1 and 2.
Chastain all the way down on that white line. Here comes Harvick. Chastain, there's no banking down there. Get your car to work down there is very difficult. You can see how he lost momentum down the back straightaway. Harvick saw it, trying to take advantage of it. Now he goes to the bottom.
Chastain now again to the high side will have a good run on the 24 car here. Down the front straightaway. Without the help, though, behind him. Can he make a pass? He's going to be able to side draft a little bit here. And again, enter turn 1, nose to nose. This time he's going to almost clear him, just about making a slide job there. Doesn't pull it off. But he does move up the racetrack enough to almost force the 24 to give up a little throttle there, so they'll stay side by side down the back straightaway. Final lap here of stage 1, Christopher Bell through turns 3 and 4. Clear sailing, a second and a half ahead of his teammate Denny Hamlin. He's going to win stage 1. His second stage win of his career. The first was stage 2 last week. So Christopher Bell peaking at the right time as we head toward the playoffs.
As you see, Chastain, Byron, Harvick, Logano, Briscoe, Top 10, one name you don't see, pole sitter Bubba Wallace came to pit road, only to come back to 13th with 2 fresh tires.
Took a little work, but stage 1 is in the books. We'll be back at pit stops at stage 2.
And the opposite from the 7. He's off the 45's bumper. Oh, here comes a big shove.
He got shoved by the 5 of Larson, but it was late in the corner. Chastain's going to easily clear him, now pull up in front of him.
Oh, man, I didn't think there was a spot for the 12.
Ty Gibbs doing a little moving around, trying to see if he can make a move on the leader.
I'm not sure that Larson thought there was a spot for the 12 either.
We'll see if there's a spot from the 7. There is. The 12 gets in line. 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace went with the 7 intentionally. Here comes Eric Jones on the bottom, 4 wide, all the way on the apron.
Eric Jones has got a hot rod today, guys. He takes a couple positions there. He's going to position him, though, low on entry into 1. He's going to lose a lot of momentum here.
Poor Joey doing a good job hanging in there.
He is, but he has a little bit of a stack up behind him, right? He's in the preferred lane, running around the top there.
Larson dives into turn 3. Slides up in front of Corey. Taking away the air into downforce. Christopher Bell fits into a small hole right there in front of his teammate Denny Hamlin. They're all going to drive by this 43 on the front straightaway.
You saw Hamlin give the old, like, peek. No, don't do that. Stay back in line. This is the line that's going to go.
Now he's going to try. Now he gets underneath the 20 of Bell. Parker, what do you have on Corey?
Oh, guys, it's good to see him run up here and be able to hold his own a little bit as he gets a little tight there off for turn 2. He said after practice yesterday that car was really tight now the racetrack, but they made some huge adjustments overnight and really threw a big adjustment at it. Was hoping it'd be a little better as he always go to the top side there a little bit, trying to maybe get out of the way, but he definitely was a little happier up with it up here in the cleaner air, and obviously came to life a little bit for him compared to what they saw in practice.
This is really just trying to be a cycle for the 7, right? I don't think he thought he's going to go up here and lead the race, but he was running 25th. So now he's in the 8th position. He's going to have to pit in about 15, maybe 20 more laps. So if he could just stay reasonably close inside the top 20, it's a net game, Jeff.
Almost some contact here between teammates. Denny Hamlin really close on the left rear quarter panel of Christopher Bell. He takes that position away as we ride on the Coca-Cola can. Out the back bumper of Denny Hamlin's car. Now we're right inside with Denny driving through the corner, and it's really something I've noticed about these cars is how smooth the driver's hands are. They've been tight all week. Typically when the car's tight, you don't move the steering wheel a lot.
Left front on that 24 car, so going in the right direction.
It's interesting. Some tracks, right? One car pits, everyone comes here. It's kind of more of an eyedropper, one at a time. But this is the big decision here. The one at Chastain, one of the top 3 cars on the racetrack. He's now come to pit road.
Right, Steve. He's about 3 seconds behind Denny Hamlin, so it'll be interesting to see if this sort of forces the hand of those JGR cars in first and second for Ross Chastain. Just a little tight. You see one of the tires rolled away there. Tight for the one car of Ross Chastain as they have multiple tires going away. We'll see what happens here. Disaster, guys.
All right, so the first one I thought wouldn't raise the ire of NASCAR because it kind of rolled forward into somebody else's box, but the one that rolled back out into the lane of traffic, even without traffic coming, I think NASCAR is going to take a hard look at that. I would be shocked if this isn't a penalty. He was running 3rd. So you're going to see one tire. This one kind of just rolls towards you. I'm okay with that. Nobody's pitting. No harm, no foul. It's this one right here. Hits the wall, nobody catches it, back out all the way into pit lane, outside of the pit boxes. That should be an uncontrolled tire. We're here for NASCAR. It is pit issue for the one car. Gonna be a penalty pass through that is really gonna hurt Ross Chastain. Here's the 5 of Larson on pit road, Marty.
Kyle Larson coming down pit road, very happy with the handling of the race car, but Cliff Daniels said, hey, I want to stay ahead of the racetrack here, so they're going to free it up just a little bit for Kyle Larson to run the top 5 that entire run. Denny Hamlin coming down pit road in front of you, Parker.
Right, there was an immediate reaction to the one of Ross Chastain coming down pit road. That's when Chris Gabehart came across the radio and said, pitting this lap for Denny Hamlin from the lead here, just a little tight from the center to exit, especially off turns 3 and 4. They'll do 4 tires in Sunoco Field. On your screen there, you see Tyler Reddick hitting from the 3rd position through this cycle. He's been very happy with the balance of that race.
Suarez, Briscoe, look at all these guys. The first car that pitted was Hamlin right there. I'm drawing a line. Everybody in front of those guys stayed out. Now they're going to have to pit, but they've gained some track position because the big thing is if I draw another line right here, that's all the cars in the lead lap. Wallace and Gibbs, they're a lap down. Wallace will get the free pass, but then Gibbs and those cars are going to have to perhaps take the wave around. We'll see where they all line up. The big issue as we go back even further is the 9 of Chase Elliott. He's in 24th. He can't.
Here's the stop the last time, and what problems on the right front. So this car, the new car, has to be up in the air to get the wheels tight. They dropped the jack too soon. The right front was not tight, and so they've lost all this track position for Chase Elliott.
Yeah, so bad news. Slow.
Now turning away from him, trying to get away from that side draft. Now trying to pull Harvick back to him. Tries to overdrive the corner. Now he slides up in from caution.
Oh, we got a yellow. We got a car spinning down the backstretch. Oh, Noah Gregson in the 16 having a nice run after a fast car yesterday. Looks like some damage on the right front corner. Oh, yeah, some pretty big damage on the nose of the 16 car.
Right rear corner as well. Look at that car.
That's the crab walk.
He's in Michael Jackson.
He's running 12th.
Is that Michael Jackson?
So now this is something the team's practice to change. I think they might be able to change the toe link. I'm more concerned about the damage to the front. I'm not sure, they can fix it.
Michael Jackson was looking down today and smiling.
Body damage as well.
Not sure exactly what happened. When I looked up, he was already basically at the end of the backstretch backwards.
It's been a good day for Noah. He's been able to show some glimpses of potential running in the top 5 earlier. As we watch on this turn 3 camera down the back straightaway, looks like a lot of guys going to avoid, and he spins back into the wall. So there is some damage to the right side of that car, and you wonder if maybe he lost air, got to turn 2. Look at this 45 car, Ty Gibbs up the racetrack as well. I'm wondering if the 16 maybe had the same thing happen off the 2, and you see all these cars move to avoid, and then he spins back across the racetrack. Here we may see this contact. Yep, right there. That breaks the toe link.
Yep.
Then he comes down the racetrack and spins in front of the field. This is Ty Gibbs up the racetrack in the dirty racetrack, way out of the groove. Both are young drivers. Both are young drivers on the same lap. Getting themselves in trouble. Getting a little experience.
All right, so you said broke a right rear toe link because I think it was the initial contact that then ended up making him spin around again when the component broke. So let's show the fans at home exactly what a toe link is. Remember, in the next-gen cars, we take a look at our Toyota virtual car, the rear suspension is independent. It's not a solid rear axle anymore. So that means if we take away some of the rear suspension and sheet metal, you can take a look. In the right-hand side of this car, we've highlighted it yellow for you so you can have a better look. That is the component that keeps that right rear tire pointed straight. That is the toe link. What they're going to attempt to do is jack it up, remove those 2 bolts, take the toe link out, hope that the slug and a couple of the other spaces don't disappear. That's usually what you drop and make this project harder than it needs to be. You put the toe link back in, the new one, you put the bolts back in. But that's the component that broke. And as soon as that breaks, then that right rear tire can go turn left or right as much as it wants. And that's the thing they're taking a look at. And I'm not sure if they're even going to try to change it at this point, probably because of the damage on the front.
Yeah, it hit pretty hard.
He hit the fence, thought he had it saved, and then it steered on its own. And
yeah,
it's going around.
And it's a forklift.
Yeah,
at that point.
I've been cars called forklifts before by the man standing to my left.
And you see the team waving to the crew chief on the box.
Yeah. So it's funny, right? Because a week ago at Indianapolis, we swore the 20 must not have been Kim.
And they reminded Kevin, watch the first section, do not speed on this. Really the only complaint, just a little bit tight through the corners.
Stage 2, 3 wide down the back straightaway, Keselowski the meat and the sandwich. Comes Daniel Suarez.
Martian trying to make it another Hendrick win here in the Irish Hill.
Jeff Gordon made it back to 14.
We talked a lot about Harvick and Truex, the 43 a little bit. Well, how about the 3? The 3 of Austin Dillon, right? He's up here fighting for everything he's worth, trying to hold off where he can. You see the 24 Byron right there as well. So the three of Dillon are actually ahead of this battle a little bit, having a nice day. Bowman ahead of this battle a little bit. Bowman and Dillon have been looking to be ahead of Sabalos for quite some time. They just haven't had great runs. They've been kind of stuck in traffic.
That last restart, the two best guys, he did it. Ross Chastain in this one car picked up 11 spots. Austin Dillon picked up 7. We talk about how important restarts are. That shows you if you get an opportunity, you can get some spots. You better get them right then. They get the white flag here as we go to the end of stage 2. These guys right here battling for 9th and 10th position. Everybody behind them trying to take advantage of it. Any kind of momentum lost. One car with a big run here on Logano. Going to push Logano down the back straightaway. Denny Hamlin over Suarez coming through turns 3 and 4. Denny Hamlin off of turn 4 down the front straightaway to the flag stands. Going to win his 3rd stage win this season. That tells you, not a lot of playoff points for this team. They stayed out, wanted to get this playoff point, wanted to put themselves in a better position, and they've made it happen.
They want Kevin Harvick to win, which I want to too, but they probably jinxing them right here, guys.
I haven't been able to pit stop, and now we see the 5 of Kyle Larson coming down pit road under penalty as the choose happens.
Denny Hamlin, flag in hand.
I see sparks. Will we see fire? Oh, the wheel's not turning now. This is definitely not a good situation for the leaders. It's the pit road. NASCAR disturbance, not enough debris. I'm sure they're looking at the racetrack.
Yeah, they have spotters around the racetrack looking to see if there is any debris on the track now. Kevin Harvick saying nothing. There's nothing.
Track's clear. I hope so.
Track's clear. Promise you, nothing out there.
That radio we just heard was the NASCAR spotter. Yes, turn 3 clear.
4 laps to go here for Kevin. Giving a little bit of time on that lead to Bubba Wallace as you watch the 99 car losing the tire down the back straightaway. Something NASCAR has done over the last several years, Steve. They've tried to hold that caution unless they really felt like it was necessary late in these races, Marty.
4 to go, and Jeff, being very honest, I don't think any of us thought we would be sitting here with 4 to go, and Kevin Harvick would be leading, looking at a 6th Michigan win, maybe. Steve, we've talked a lot about this. Kevin Harvick has come through multiple times, right? Huge clutch wins, playoffs at Dover when they were going to be out if they didn't win. I would argue today might be his most clutch win of his career. Nobody thought this 14 could put it together. Who said the pre-race, Steve, they couldn't put it together? It looks like they might do it.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
Come on, Kevin!
Numbers were going to show up for the 4 car. Brad Doherty felt something. We asked him earlier who he was going to pick, and he said the 4 car. Now, I waited until he had a little track position, but I still don't think I would have taken him at that point.
Yeah, a little bit behind these guys. Blaney just got back by Truex. Yeah, he did. He must have tuned that 12 up on the fence. Now Blaney's going after Logano. I don't know what happened to Truex here. He lost a lot of speed.
And as great as this is for Kevin Harvick and Ford, the Toyota camp, now they showed what they have. They've been unbelievable all year long. I think they have the fastest cars here, but this is going to be a bit disheartening for Toyota to think they had it.
Harvick off of turn 4 down the front straightaway, taking the white flag. 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank.
No pressure.
The 4 car in the Busch Light. Healthy lead over Bubba Wallace. Almost cruised home to victory here. 46 years old from Bakersfield, California. This will be his 59th career win. That puts him 10th all-time, guys, on the list. 65 starts since the last win for this Ford team. And he entered Michigan 96 points out of the playoffs in 17th position. As he comes off turn 4,
He's going to do it.
the closer, Kevin Harvick, is going to make it happen in Michigan.
Now look out, man.
You can hear real raw emotion from that driver right there. Getting his 6th win here in Michigan. 4 out of the last 5. I mean, I don't know why we doubted him earlier today. The guy's almost automatic at this racetrack. As you see Bubba Wallace going by with a great top 2 finish here again on a great streak himself. I knew he'll be disappointed. 68th career win for Stewart Haas Racing, and Ford continues to dominate here at Michigan. Their 716th total win and their 43rd at this racetrack. The Toyotas came in with all the speed, but Ford does it again today. Kevin's going to go down here, I think, turn this car around, and salute these fans all the way down the front straightaway. They stuck around for a little bit of a rain delay earlier today. NASCAR felt confident about being able to get this race started. And the fans did too, because every one of them are still here in this grandstands.
It's got to be Kevin's last win. You never know. He's only got 1 season left on his resume.
Kevin Harvick, that's his 28th wins since turning 40 years old. Dale Earnhardt had 26. This your advanced auto parts checker flag moment. There's a few drivers every once in a while that seem to be able to continue to win beyond that 43, 44, 45-year-old mark. Not everybody can do it. There's a couple. This guy's taking great care of himself physically. He's still focused 100% on what he does every single day. And that's what it takes to be great at this. You got to live it every day. And he's maintained that focus even when things have went left and right. It's been a challenge times where you're right, you don't want to be right. There are times we're wrong, and you've never been happier to be wrong. And this is one of them, right? We talked, could the Ford do it? I didn't think they could. I could be sitting here happier that I was wrong. He's for a lot of those.
Just good timing for sure. You know, we've had several good runs the last few weeks. Loudon and Pocono, where the car ran good.
It's impressive. You don't know many teams that can
Kevin Harvick
succeed
wins.
in